Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another session of Level 7 Marketing, Strategic Marketing. Today is Monday, the 26th of June, 2023. And we'll be looking at the LO4, okay, Learning Outcome number 4, which is to do with the integrated marketing mix in an organization. Okay, so let's make a start. Okay, and we'll be covering what we'll be covering in this lecture is to look at the significance of the marketing mix for an organizational context. Secondly, we'll be looking at the effective marketing mix for an organization and how to design it. And number 3, we'll be looking at the relationship between the product lifecycle and the marketing mix, okay, for an organization. So this is 3 things we'll be covering. So let's start with 4.1, how to evaluate the significance of the integrated marketing mix for an organizational context, okay? Now, what is marketing mix? As you probably know, marketing mix is, consists of different elements of marketing, okay, which consists of product, price, promotion, and place, okay? And the all these, when you combine them and use them to integrate the marketing mix of an organization, it's called the marketing mix. So in a nutshell, right, marketing mix is a tool. In other words, it's a set of controllable variables that an organization can use in order to best meet customer needs and ensure that an organization is successful in its markets in whichever it serves, right? So this is what a marketing mix is. It's a controllable variables that an organization uses to meet its customer needs and ensure that an organization is successful in its markets which it serves, right? So it consists of 4 P's, in other words: product, price, promotion, and place. Now the price, for example, let's take the element of the price. Okay, the price is consists of the physical attributes of a product, physical makeup of product. Okay, it can consist of a brand image as well. It can consist of a design. It can consist of the physical makeup, physical structure of the product. To what extent, does it have a brand name, brand image, and to what extent it, of course, has a packaging, of course, and to what extent does the physical attributes meet of a product. Okay, so this is the first element of the 4 P's, a product. Okay, it can also be a service, right? A service is intangible. It can be a service, intangible product, like an educational service or a banking service or a hospital service, right? And it can be a product as a physical product you can see and such, like a product like, for example, a chocolate bar or a milk product of milk, a milk pack, and so on. Okay, so it consists of physical and intangible product and has other elements with it. Okay, price, for example. Okay, price consists of some kind of a notional value to the product. Okay, it has a kind of a value attached to it. So, for example, $5.99, right? It's a price attached to the product, or a few £100, or a few £1,000 for a product. As far as we're concerned with, for example, when we buy a car, a few £1,000 and so on. Okay, it also consists of price. Also consists of kind of a credit policies. Price also consists of discounts. Price also consists of loyalties, loyalty, or price also consists of other things, right? Place consists of where is the product being sold at, kind of distribution channels. For example, the place consists of a marketplace where the buyers and sellers come and buy the goods, right? Place consists of channels, for example, shops, markets, supermarkets, garages, distribution channels, distribution centers, distributors, and so on. So the place is very important, where the product and service is being sold and bought. Okay, it's a physical, or it can be non-physical place, but it's a channel whereby the product is sold or bought from. Okay, promotion consists of the ways a product is being publicized. For example, the how it's been advertised, how it's been publicized, the sale promotion, the channels that are promoting the business, so promotion, advertising, publicity, all the other public relations, the exhibitions, so way to get to know the product. So it's the channels of channels of ways that people can get to know the product. So this is a promotion, newspaper, television, advertising, and so on. So that's a basic for marketing mix, 4 Ps, as far as the products, price, promotion, and place is concerned. It can be extended to 7 Ps. For example, the marketing mix is also consisting of 7 Ps. The product, price, promotion, and place we discussed or we looked at. Now it has 3 more elements to it: people, physical evidence, and the processing of people involved. For example, employees, customers, people, employee, customers, employees. It also consists of roles and scripts, relationships, social interaction, people, physical evidence. For example, it consists of signage, symbols, artifacts, uniforms, facilities, equipment, physical evidence, in other words. Okay, and the processes are consistent of customization, operational activity, operational efficiency, operational being, for example, processes, inputs and outputs and processing. Okay, designs, for example, standardization. It can maybe total quality management or total quality concept, and so on. Okay, so the 3 Ps can be place, processes, and physical evidence. So that includes 7 Ps, and that is also an extended marketing mix. Okay, you can have this for an extended marketing mix as far as some services are concerned. Okay, so you can consider 4 Ps for products. Okay, and 3 Ps in addition to that consist of, for example, 7 Ps can be extended to the services products as well. Okay, what is the importance of marketing mix? Why is it important? Integrating marketing or integrated marketing is important in the sense that it helps in new product development. It helps in increasing the product portfolio, and it helps in improving the business. Okay, so let's look at it. It helps also in differentiation, and it helps in becoming more competitive and adaptable in marketing. That's why we need to look at the integration of marketing or integrated marketing mix. Okay, so first one, how does it help new product development? Now, it helps the new product development in the sense that it conceptualizes the products and its relevance to consumers. Okay, it's a way of offering some kind of new product, right? New ideas. You come up with the new concepts in producing a good, so that the customer is satisfied, okay, and enjoys the product and services. Okay, so this is how the marketing helps in new product development. You produce new designs, new product, new shapes, so that the mind of the people, or they are attracted to the new product. Number two, it helps. How does it help in increasing the product portfolio? Now, of course, the more the product are on the market, the more choice the consumer has, okay, and the more the company has the product onto the market, so they can spread out their number of products and make sure that they've got a number of products so to hit the market. So marketing product portfolio is important in the sense that it makes changes to the product. Minor changes in marketing mix is very it can attract customers, and it can also, by adding features, by different designs, by mixing certain features, by enlarging a product portfolio, can be created to get the bigger market, to get the bigger revenue, to bigger survival, and so on. Okay, so that's why it's important increasing the product portfolio. Third, the factor is important in improving the marketing mix is it improves the business because by factors such as physical evidence provide useful information. It helps to improve the business. It boosts the business. It will increase in probably revenue. Okay. Fourthly, it helps in marketing. Integrated marketing mix helps in differentiation. What we mean by this is you can differentiate your product or services offering. The competitor may have poor promotion, and you can create a better promotion. In other words, by producing different promotional capabilities or promotion, you differentiate your product by design, you differentiate by packaging, you differentiate by going for different sectors of the economy or by different sector of the market. Okay, you differentiate according to age, maybe, okay, maybe income, and so on. Okay, and the other one, the last one, is you adopt, okay, more competitive and adaptable in the market by creating some kind of changes to the marketing mix. It helps organization to respond with a better agility. Okay, during the recessionary environment, companies can make certain changes to their marketing mix to help organize and respond better to the market needs. And okay, so these are very important elements that are consistent, that are required in integrated marketing mix. So we must be able to look at them elements, and they help in our widen our product portfolio. They provide new product development. They increase our business or improve our business, and they help in our differentiation and so that we can become more competitive. That's why integrated marketing mix helps in the organization to respond with better agility and so on. Okay. Second, when we're looking at 4.2, so when we're designing an effective marketing mix for an organizational context, we need to be able to make sure that the marketing mix of a product or a service is right. Okay, it's the product is right for the people, and it's available. For example, if it's a tangible product, right, it must be available. It must perform its function for which it was produced, and it has a price tag designed for the good design, better design. If it's an intangible product like a service, for example, it should have an image, it should have value, and so that people don't buy products, they buy what products can do for them. In other words, that when we are talking about the marketing mix as a product, we are selling the product as a whole, not in in piecemeal, so that people, when they buy it, they buy the products that can do what it's supposed to do. They just don't buy the products for the sake of buying, but they are buying the products for what they can do for them. Okay, so we must be able to make sure that our marketing mix produces that attribute for people who are going to buy our product. Okay. The pricing, the marketing pricing, for example, the 4 P's of marketing is one of the key elements of B2C, okay, strategy, which B2C means business to customers, okay. And there are many factors to consider when developing your pricing strategy. What type of pricing strategy are you going to follow? What type of pricing are you going to charge? What type of pricing strategy you're going to adopt, for example? How does the price reflect the value you provide against your competitors, for example? Okay, so the price must be, price is very important because it provides a value, right, against some other products, some other competitors, some other, it should provide some kind of value to the product, okay? And the value, the price must also match what the market will pay for the, okay? So it should match what the market will pay for. This not good, lowering the price or charging a low price for a high value product, and no use lowering the price for a higher or expected higher quality product, okay? So the product must, have a good match what the product should get from the marketplace. It should reflect your, the product must reflect what it's worth, okay, what the people will pay for it. Product also, the price also reflects your support, for your brand. Okay, price also enables you to reach your revenue and make sure that the market share gets to the maximum of your profits, or in other words, the price should maximize your profit. It should enable you to reach your revenue and market share goals. So the price should be such that it should support the whole product and not part of it. Okay, pricing, for example, different pricing are charged for different products by different firms. For example, Bosch, they charge, for example, companies like Bosch have introduced a chief price officer or strategic price coordinator to look at the pricing. Okay, so the price is very important because there's some elements of pricing that the people are responsible for, and Bosch is one of them, who has appointed or who has a company chief pricing officer or pricing coordinator to look at the prices. Okay, which is very important. Okay, General Electric, for example, when they are talking about the pricing, they are talking about the pricing. They have a director of pricing and several pricing managers. They talk about their product and particularly focus on product pricing. Okay, Philips, for example, also has a department, center and pricing department, which works together with marketing, sales, customer teams, and business alliance to define the most effective quote and pricing strategy. So the organizations appoint pricing officers to look at the pricing of their products, making sure that they charge the right price to the right customer for the right product, and so on. So it's very important. A price is very important factor. Okay. The third element when we're looking at the marketing mix, okay, 4.2, design an effective marketing mix. Okay, so how can we design the marketing mix? So looking at the place, second one, okay, we want to make sure that the place we choose to sell our products are reachable to our customers. Okay, the distribution channels or the places that people will go and buy our product are easily accessible for them. There are different distribution channels that we can use to reach our customer base. Okay, so the distribution channels, these are the intermediaries or the middlemen or the people who exist to sell our products, reach our customers, and these are the people through which we can sell our products. Okay, and we provide They should provide efficient service to the marketing process. They must facilitate a smooth flow of the goods and services and create time, place, and possession utilities. For example, they should have a good competencies. They should reach the customers. The products should reach the customers, whenever the customer needs them. So these distribution channels, they do provide contacts. They have experience. They do specialize, and they do have a scales of operation so that they can act as intermediaries, and they exist because producers cannot reach all their consumers. These are distribution channels that the producers can't reach everybody all the time very quickly, efficiently, and therefore it's very important that the organizations that sellers use these distribution channels to access the market, to access the customers, consumers. Okay. Place. So these distribution channels act as a middleman. In other words, they stock their products. They try and sell to wholesalers. These are the agents, these are the wholesalers, and they try and sell to the retailers and to the ultimate consumers from producers. So this kind of a channel is, direct producer can't directly sell to the consumers. Producer has to look for some kind of agents or wholesalers who can stock their products and then distribute slowly and surely to the final consumer. Okay, so this is very important. And the third element we are going to be looking at, the place, also is so, for example, the Levi, for example, they have their distribution channels or factory outlets. Amazon, for example, they sell their products through online products, and they have some distribution channels. Next, IKEA or Adidas, they have some kind of factory outlets, for selling goods. Some are direct distribution channels, some are indirect distribution channels. Okay, so therefore Adidas may have direct and indirect, and so on. Other organizations, they do use these direct and indirect distribution channels to sell their products. Okay, the product mix, the last element of the product mix is promotion. Now, promotion is some kind of technique, is to create some kind of awareness, to inform consumers, to inform buyers, to inform them or influence them, or to persuade them that the customer persuade the customer to buy your products. Okay, from a particular service, or from a particular channel, or from a particular distributor. Right, this is the main purpose of the promotion, is to create awareness, okay, and influence and persuade customers to buy the products. Okay, so that the customer keeps the promotion in mind about this product, and helps stimulate demand for that particular product. Promotion helps that element. Promotion is also keeps customers aware of the product, and also it creates attractiveness for the customer. They are attracted to the buyers, they are attracted to the sellers, to the product, and it creates a kind of a relationship. It builds up a CRM, customer relationship. So the promotion is very effective in that sense, keeps people in mind. Okay, and it makes sure that the product is product is there on the market. It's given to the consumers. The consumers are aware of the product, because it's on the market. Make sure the promotion is there to increase the demand of the product. Promotion differentiates a product. Promotion reinforces in people's minds about the brand, about the product, about the price, about the ability of the product, and so on. Okay, promotion also responds to your competitors. Okay, and it presents information to people, to consumers, and to everybody else out there in the market. Okay, and so the objectives of the operation of the operation of more promotion, in other words, the key objectives of promotion are to create an awareness and to reinforce and to persuade people to buy the products of this organization or other organization. And also, okay, so this is very important. So you must be aware of that. What's the promotion and what's the purpose of that? Okay, when we're looking at the marketing mix of a process, now the process, it refers to some kind of a flow of activities or flow of activities that are important to produce the goods and services between the it's an interaction between customers and the business. The flow of information, the flow of activities, the mechanism that take place when there's an interaction between the customers and the business, right? The processes that go on within that particular process is very important. Marketers, they need to make sure that all these processes are controlled and they are tightly and consistent according to the customer experience, and make sure that these people are aware of these marketing processes. Okay, marketing processes is an ideal process that should take the last amount of time or the least amount of time, okay, amongst all the available options, and should cost less to the company while delivering efficiently and making sure that the output, output is to the maximum of its capacity. So this is the process is, very important. Okay. Let's look at it in diagrammatically. Example, customer acquisition process, for example, okay, whereby the customer, we're talking about the customer, for example, here, customer life cycle. Okay, it's customer life cycle is divided into a couple of stages. For example, number one, visitor, when a person visits a particular kind of media channel, or using a digital channel, for example, right? They may be using social media, they may be using the social advertising or digital advertising or digital techniques. So the customer looks at that particular technology, then moves on to the second stage, which gives them a lead, i.e. lead, the digital content, okay, the blog, the posts, the comparisons, the webinars, and the frequently asked questions and other things. So the second stage of the customer life cycle is on to create a lead. And why should we create a lead? Okay, how do we create a lead? When do we create a lead? Right. So they use the digital content. So for example, creating a blog and so on. Okay, the third stage of this particular marketing technology or marketing technique or digital marketing strategy is, it looks secured online stores, products, pages, demos, and so on. Okay, and the fourth stage is creating a kind of a customer, i.e. turns the online strategy into a kind of a revenue. For example, when we create communication, or we create a brand pages, or we create training materials, we have to make sure that the customer creates some kind of awareness, or customer is aware of these things, and they're going to buy this particular product, which is becomes the active user and the loyal customer. We can create a loyal customer at the last stage. So because we have created a kind of a customer relationship using these digital marketing strategy, okay, you can have these are all the processes that are used to acquire customer acquisition process. Okay, you can use that in channeling or sale in sales channels as well, or sales funnel as well. Okay, so this can be created in different stages. Okay, at awareness stage, at education stage, and conversation stage, engagement and closing the deal, right? And continuous engagement afterwards. So these are all the processes that you go through when you create the marketing mix, okay, and to acquire customer acquisition. So this can be utilized, and there are other things that we can use when we are talking about the processes. Okay, the marketing mix, when we are looking at the people these are the personnel or people who directly or indirectly influence the perceived value of the product or service. These are the people involved in creating all these processes, producing goods and services. These are all people who are involved in creating value of the product or services some way or another, right? Therefore, it's very important that people who are at the front end of your organization and interface with customers give you strong corporate image. Okay, without good people, without a good image, you can't. An organization cannot survive without the people, because the people, as we know, they are very strategic and very valuable part of the organization, because if you have a good number of people, intelligent people who are who know what they're doing, they break or create an image, strong image for the organization. So it's very important that people who represent the business, they are the image of the business, because they portray, they present the views of the business, and people should represent what they provide to the customer. They should, people are there to serve the community, to serve the customers. They are there to train and make sure that the people, or make sure that the customer knows what they are buying or selling. Okay, how these people are also there, these in organizations, to represent the organization's culture. They are there to represent the nature of the business. So people are very important resource for an organization, because they represent the business, because they represent the image, they represent the product, they represent the service, they represent the staff, they represent the culture of the organization, and they are very important resource of organization. So whenever people are with very strong culture, it portrays the image of a strong culture as well in an organization. Okay, so for example, when we are talking about a marketing mix, and we're talking about the people, we are talking about the management, we're talking about employees, we're talking about the customers. It's a triangle whereby everybody comes together to create an image of the organization. So for example, employees and management, they are the internal they are the internal people of the organization. They are, in other words, they are creating an internal marketing. They enable the promise. When we are talking about integrating management with the customers, or when we're talking about the relationship between the company and the customers, we are creating an external image or external marketing we are creating an external marketing image of the organization, whereby the customer is involved with the company management, or is involved with the company customers involved with the employees. We're talking about the interactive marketing, because you're delivering the promise. So the employees, when they are talking to the customers, they are delivering the promise. So in three ways, in other words, these three groups to work together to develop, promote, and deliver the service of the organization. Okay, so it's very important that these are taken hand in hand. They are integrated together to create an image, to create a market, to create a marketing triangle. Okay, and people are very important component. So people can be in the management, people can be employees, and people can be customers. All together, right? They can be linked, right? They can be linked together to promote the company and deliver the goods and services that organization wants to promote and sell and create an integrated marketing mix. Okay, so very important. Okay, now what about the physical evidence? The physical evidence is a kind of evidence that are considering the elements of marketing mix where customers can actually see or experience when they use a service and which contribute to the perceived quality of the service. So the physical evidence is that kind of evidence where you can see the physical well-being of an organization. So the clean an organization, the good image you will have in your mind about the organization. Okay. Okay. Examples, for example, business cards of a consultant. If it's a nice business card, you can see as an example of a physical evidence. Okay. For example, if you are suffering or traveling in a business class of an aircraft, you see the leg space, for example, is a physical evidence. Okay. Cleanliness in a cinema hall, for example, is seen as evidence of physical evidence. Okay. Ambience at a restaurant is seen as evidence of quality of service and physical evidence. So these are all contributing to the perceived quality of service. It is very important that the physical evidence is there. Okay. You can see physical evidence in different places at different types. Okay. And you can see models of places. Okay. You can see physical evidence as a service escape model in this particular example. Okay. Physical evidence is very important when we are talking about the firm and the customer when they interact. Okay. We are talking about a firm and the interaction of customers. Okay. The physical environment is where the actual service is performed, delivered, and consumed. This is very important. Okay. For example, when you examine patients in doctor's office, this is a physical evidence. The dirtier examination office will give you a different image than a clean environment, than a clean examination room of a doctor's. Okay. Physical evidence also can be seen in hotel rooms when you see the hotel room being clean, being nice cutlery, nice evidence of cleaned linen. Okay. And utensils, fork, knife, cutlery, glasses, all this is put in the right place at the right time and cleaned and shiny, physically quite good. Okay. Catering service and okay, physical evidences should be there. Okay. Moving on to the next element, we want to make sure we will look at the 4.3. We need to look at the relationship between the product life cycle and the marketing mix is very important. Now, the product life cycle, as you may have gathered, is a kind of stages through which a product goes through. There are different stages of a product that it goes through during the lifetime of its life. Okay. If you look at this, for example, the product, on the vertical side, there's a sales revenue, and on the horizontal side, we put it as a time factor, and the stages, the curve goes up and down, and these are the depiction of the life stages, life cycle of a product. So the first stage is called the development stage. Now, development stage is where, for example, where you go through a phase of developing, designing, maybe researching, for example, a product. Okay, before it's introduced. So you are at a developing stage. Okay, and when this is the design, this is the pre-introduction, in other words, pre-introduction stage, which is this one here. You're being developed, you're being researched, being designed, being thought about. Okay, so that call is the development stage. Okay, introduction stage is where the sales, okay, when the product is launched, when the product is introduced, when the product comes onto the market, it may be unknown, it may be have very small sales, okay, and it has very low revenue. The product may be, the profit may be negative because after the development expenses and the research and development expenses, it takes a bit of time to recover or to recoup these expenses. So the initial stages, the sales will be very low and the profits will be negative, and the product may be very unknown because it's a newer stage of production and introduction onto the market. People get to know it slowly and surely. Okay, so that's why the sales revenue are at a very low stage. Okay, then it picks up, from a low sales, and it picks up slowly and slowly and goes through the introduction stage. Once it's gone through the introduction stage, it goes into the growth stage, i.e. where it fully grows into the, it becomes a fully grown product, for example, and people are more willing to buy it. It has, gone, the sales have increased, okay, rapidly over the time period. It's growing, people are knowing about it, people are buying it, people are trying it. The profits are reaching quite high, okay, and they are maybe going to increase stage by stage at rapid speed. This is called the growth stage, okay. And the third, fourth stage, or the next stage of this product, is called the maturity stage, where the product has fully grown and the slow, the development or the growth has slowed down a bit. The slope of the growth has, stopped growing and stops at a particular stage where there is saturation, which is at the top of the curve there, okay. The sales reach its highest point, beyond which it cannot increase because people have bought them, people have known about it, people have spent money, and the sales are at the highest point. But then they will try to go slow, right? The rate of growth slows down, and the revenue a little bit falls. After staying the same or a similar level to the previous sales, it starts to decline slightly, okay, because the competitors are entering the market. They know about your product. They are trying to produce their product and compete with your products. Therefore, your sales have, gone or going to go slightly down. So it's affecting your revenue, and your, maturity of the product is there, okay. After this saturation, after the product has saturated, it starts to decline, right? It starts to decline a little bit because other businesses may have entered into the market and they have competed with your product. So your sales have been shared out with the competitors. You have to lower the price a little bit in order to stay in the market. Maybe you have to entice the buyers, give them some kind of offers, give them some kind of promotion offers to buy your products, make sure that you stay in the market as your competitor have entered and they have lowered the price. So you have to lower the price. So therefore the revenue suffers, and sales declining, the market share is declining, and the revenue is declining. So therefore, in order to stay in the market, you need to offer some kind of bonus, some kind of loyalty scheme, some kind of allurement to keep your customers in, okay. And then at some stage, but it doesn't work because people have the products now, they don't want to buy another product. Sales decline rapidly, okay, and the revenue falls as well, profits fall, and this is called the decline stage, okay. So the product is declining, and then reduce sales, reduce revenue, reduce total market share, and this is going to be over the time period where the product declines, okay, and ultimately dies unless you revitalize it, okay, unless you differentiate it, unless you create some kind of a boost and reintroduce the product as a different product. So all this stages of development, introduction, growth, maturity, saturation, decline, happens over a period of time. And when the product goes down to the death stage, it dies, and then you have to reintroduce. And this is where the reproduction comes in. This is called the reproduction of a particular product. This is the life cycle of a product. And this is where you have to, when it starts declining and the starts dying, you have to introduce new products. And they have to by differentiation, by reproduct development, by reintroducing, by carrying out new designs and so on. Okay. And this happens all the time with all these products. Okay. So for example, if you are looking at the mobiles phone, these go through all the mobile phones, every product goes through the same cycle of a product life cycle, whether it's mobile phones or baked beans or televisions, newspapers or cars or laptops or spectacles or Coca-Cola or any other product that you name it. They go through the same product. They go through the same life cycle. Okay. What type of pricing strategies they go through is different strategies they go through at different stages of life cycle. Okay. When we are talking at the initial stage, when we're talking about the introduction stage, or we call it floor pricing, okay, or a very low pricing. However, some products, right, some products they use what's it called, skimming pricing. Okay, so they start off very high. Okay, skimming is at the introduction stage. When the product is new, people or firms, they charge their products. For example, when the new phones come out, they charge people a very high price, and they want to get the top of the market first. They make good profit. Okay, so make sure that they recover their costs very quickly. Okay, that's known as the skimming prices. And people who afford high prices, they are, owning the latest model of the phones, for example, or the latest model of cars. They want to get the product first to show their neighbors, for example, to impress others, to make impression on others that they have the money and they have the latest design, they have latest gadgets. So they use this, the organization use them, and the organization use this high pricing in order to recover the costs very quickly, and they recover the product price very quickly. So they can, afterwards, they lower the price and they offer the products to the general public by offering lower prices, because they've already recovered their costs and they've made enough profit. Okay. The next thing they can use, or the next stage they can use, is the cost plus pricing, whereas cost plus is they add a certain percentage of the profit on top of their cost of material and cost of production, and that's gives them a certain kind of a profit, the kind of the certain kind of a price. Okay, and that's known as the cost plus pricing, because they're adding a percentage of a profit to the cost. Okay, so if it's, for example, £4, they make it costs them £4 to produce, then 10% added to the cost of production, which is £4, and it becomes £4.40. They will sell it for £4.40. Okay, so this is known as the cost plus pricing, where they recover fixed costs and their variable cost together, and that is, that's what they use. The next thing, another pricing strategy they can use is the penetration pricing. Okay, penetration pricing is maybe what they perceive, the organization, what they perceive to be a value for their product. Okay, they can use that strategy by creating a hole in the market and offering maybe a lower price to begin with, and then followed by a rise, slowly rising in their product price to capture the rest of the market. Okay, and that's penetration by offering a lower price at the start and raising the price slowly later on. Okay, so that will increase their revenue. And so, okay, segment pricing are lower cost or low cost producer pricing. This is a segment because the producers want to just catch a segment of the market, and they charge the low cost producer pricing at that time to capture the segment of the particular market. Okay, and another strategy they can use when they use the marketing, they use the pricing is +1 pricing. Okay, +1 pricing, where they use the competitive bid pricing and harvest pricing together. So these are different types of pricing strategies organization can use depending on their product life cycle they're at. Okay, skimming is used at the beginning of launching a product. When the product is new, they use this kind of skimming pricing. When the product is, for example, maturity stage, or when it's a slow stage of its marketing, or when it's slowly selling, they can add +1 pricing, i.e. competitive bidding pricing, or they can use different kind of pricing strategies to regain and retain in the market, to make sure that the sales are being produced and the revenues keeps coming over time. So over the time, they use different product strategies. They use different product marketing pricing strategies in a different stage of their life cycle. Okay, promotion strategies. So in other words, when we are talking about the promotional strategies, when we are talking about the promotional strategies for different products at different life cycle stages. So for example, here at first stage of introduction, the main purpose is to inform the public of the product and make sure that the public is being informed, we advertise, we try and promote the product. We create a lot of free samples. We give the public a publicity taste, and that kind of at that stage we are there, or the organization is there to promote the product, to inform the product at the beginning of the stage. So they are using this kind of a stage to publicize their product. When they are growing, when the product is being introduced, after it's been introduced, people get to know it. The publicity, the promotional activity changes into persuading the public in order to buy the product. Okay, and they increase the revenue. The company wants to increase the revenue. They are growing, they are getting more sales, they are making sure that the stage of product lifestyle is growing rapidly, so the increase in revenue. When at the third stage of the promotional strategy, when the product is matured, or when it's maturing, right, it is this to reinforce in public's mind that the product is still there. Okay, and the organization or the promotion, they use different tactics to like, for example, promotion. They create a lot of personal selling, or they create reminders, or they create reminder advertising to make sure that the product is being looked at by public, so they are aware of it. They are the product is still in their mind. They probably want to make sure that they revenue keeps coming in, but people are buying it slowly and slowly. Okay, so it's to reinforce. And when it's at the fourth stage of decline, or in other words, the stage of the promotional strategy in life cycle of a product, when it's declining, when the product is declining, they use a different strategy, use promotional strategy, and that is to encourage the money comes in, and the amount of promotion that being spent on the product, it keeps coming in, but at a slow rate, but it's declining, but still coming, but a declining stage. Okay, so we have a different promotional activity at that time, because you have matured your product and it's in declining stage now. Okay, so you use a different promotional activity. Okay, so at different stages of product life cycle, we use different promotional activities to promote. Okay, so in other words, we are at an introduction stage. The main thing is to inform. At a growth stage, the main thing is to persuade. At maturity stage, is main thing is to remind. At the declining stage, the main thing is to get the revenue keep coming in a little by little, so that you can develop new products, okay, new design and new products. So what we've talked about today is we talked about the product life cycle, we talked about the product mix or marketing mix, and we talked about the 4 Ps and 7 Ps. We talked about what is the process, and what is the people, and what's the other 4 Ps, okay, processes, people, promotion, and all the stages of the processes, all the stages of pricing strategies we discussed. Okay, so this is the main aim of the lesson, was to look at the promotional mix or the integrated marketing mix in an organization, and how we can apply the 4 Ps or 7 Ps or the product life cycle to the marketing mix. I hope that I haven't confused anybody, and if you're confused, please drop me a line. We'll try and answer your questions. And if I don't have anything else to say on this today, we'll meet tomorrow, hopefully, to discuss your assignment, and how it will become a better a piece of work, considering all these LO4s. Okay, or maybe if we've got another LO which is to look at, then we will consider that, and we'll look at the assignment discussion for another section. Okay, so thank you very much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.